I got your bitch. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Corner doing dope.
Make it clap.
the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. Finally, I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for putting up with this shit. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2026. This is episode number 1065 of Barry on Deck. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. I'm beating my head against the wall. This has been a week. This has really been a week. So, first of all, it was already running late because about 2 o'clock when I normally start show prep, I was like, oh, I need to check my Facebook ads because we have a Hop Scholar coming up at the end of the month. And I got another show at Hop Scholar. Bill Dawes, Larry Goodwill going to be on that show. And normally I get my ads running about 2 weeks before and tickets start flying off the shelves. Well, I set my ads up while I was on the ship last week, like on Wednesday, Thursday. Not one sale, not one ticket sold. Finally, I was like, what is going on? So I hopped into Ads Manager. None of my ads are running. I was like, what the fuck? They were all fucked up. They were all scheduled to end in March. I was like, God damn it. Ads Manager is the most fucked up interface in the face and on the face of the earth and in the history of interfaces. It sucks. So I was like, well, I've got to get this done. I can't go another. I just need to get this shit done. So did that. I was finally finished at about, 3:30, 3:40. I was like, all right, let me get this fucking show on the road, man. Got shit to do. Got birthdays. I watched that MVP MMA. When you know, I posted it in the Discord. And hold on. Sorry, I am trying to post this on Twitter. Anyways, so come in here to get the show rolling and vMix won't start. Not at all. Won't boot. It just hangs. It just sits there. So I do some research and figure out that, oh, it could be this, it could be that. So I try all those things. And finally, I have these drives connected to the computer just to offload videos and shit like that, which one of them shit the bed. All my old episodes of the show on a drive that got corrupted. Super fun times. But I go to figure out what's going on and finally get it up and running. So troubleshooting skills still decent. Luck, awful. No luck. But we're here and we're doing it. And I'm just like, man, I just want to do the show. Jesus Christ. So we'll probably go a little long today. We'll maybe go till 5:30 just to get it all in. Damn. Another Eagles, well, I shouldn't say another NFL player arrested doing 137 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. What are they doing? Edge rusher Nolan Smith. Reckless driving and speeding in Georgia. Jeez. Like, you got everything going for you. Why fuck around and ruin it? Makes no sense. But all right. What we're gonna talk about today. There's one thing on the docket that I didn't list. There we go. Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah. All right, cool. So got some headlines. Talk about, I watched the whole MVP MMA card. I got that in. So I'll give you my opinion on that. What else? Got birthdays. Got to do some birthdays. What's up, Chewy? Got to do some birthdays. Got to get them all in, like half of May. And we'll talk about some other stuff. I got the road stories still. So we'll get to all that. Let me say what's up to everybody first. My sweet Donna was in first, hanging in there like a champ that she is. Keith Sager's in the building. What up, pimp? AJB is there. Stream Elements, that raggedy bitch. Rudy Rob, what's up, pimp? Sanitize, wash hands, social distance. Back the fuck up. Oh, that's good. That doesn't want to work. That's all fun. Oh, and that figures. That's doing that. Yep. Okay. There we go, Rudy Rod. There's your message. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Sus, what's up, pimpin'? Stephen Luther. We have another Stephen Luther sighting. Can you believe that shit? He's back, ladies and gentlemen. But Jesus is in the building. What's up, Jesus? Good to see you. My sweet Donna just popped over on Twitch. Nightbot, that raggedy bitch. Cisco, what's up, pimpin'? PP Dubs is in the building. What up, Dubs? Chewy's here. Hey, and John Dorier. So we're in the building. We are moving towards the weekend. God, I am just beside myself in frustration with this goddamn computer. But what you gonna do? It's what I'm stuck with. So I will make the best of it. All right, let's get to it. We got some headlines, just a couple of tidbits of information for you, and then we'll get into my thoughts on the MVP, the Jake Paul MMA card that was on Netflix. I watched it, and I got your road stories and some other shit. And birthdays, of course. We got birthdays. But let's get into our headlines first. Come on! All right, here's your sports headlines for the day. Sources are saying, and by sources, of course, that's could be anything and anyone. But sources are saying Jalen Williams it is day to day, game to game with a left hamstring injury. Dude's been kind of hurt all year. It says he'll undergo treatment and return based on how he feels recovering from the second injury to the same hamstring in under a month. Listed as questionable for game 3 in San Antonio. So let's see. That is Friday, right? Tomorrow? Yes. Tomorrow at 7:30 on NBC and Peacock. Yeah, tonight is Cavs New York Knicks at 7 on ESPN. So, by the way, Knicks favored by 5.5 in that. And you know, since we're here, we might as well just do it. As we discussed yesterday, I wanted you guys' advice on, hey, what should I bet on? Who should I want to take the Spurs. I kind of want to money line the Spurs based off of game 1, but Darren Fox was questionable, and then he was a game time decision. And then it was like, the Spurs have done work, but they haven't. They were like split on the road at OKC, but at home, good luck trying to beat them. Well, sometimes it's the bets you don't make that are the best bets. We talked about that last night. You don't have to bet. I was kind of determined to do it, ended up not doing it, and thank God. Because I was torn between, do I take the Spurs and the points, or do I just moneyline the Spurs for the better value? Neither. I mean, I guess I could have taken the Thunder or something like that, but Thunder end up winning game 2, 122 to 113, almost an exact flip of game one, except game one went to double overtime to get to 122 to 115. SGA, your now back-to-back NBA MVP, had 30 for the win. And let's see. Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate when videos just play. And God damn it. No, don't autoplay. Kiss my entire ass. Fuck. Wembanyama had 21 points. Stephon Castle had 25. De'Aaron Fox did not play. And, well, you see the result. Stephon Castle had 25. So, let's see. How many blocks did Wemby have? Wemby had 4 blocks, 17 rebounds. Dude's a machine. Just an absolute machine. Spurs, though, turned the ball over 21 times. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not how you win championships. You cannot turn the ball over 21 times. OKC only turned the ball over 9. I'd love to see points off turnovers. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up the stats for you guys, too, so you can partake in this. You can see it the way I see it. There we go. Let's see. Team stats. Here we go. Total turnovers, 21 to 10. Excuse me. Not 9, 10. Points conceded off turnovers, 27 to 10. And there you go. And there's your difference in the ball game. If you only turn it over, I mean, that's over a point per turnover. If you can cut that in half, guess what? You probably win the game. So, nope. Not going to get it done. Hey, what is that? Why is that hidden down there? Oh, Big Stout subscribed on the tubes. Yo, much love, Big Stout. Appreciate you, pimping. Well, how'd you get banned on Twitch, bro? What'd you do? Big Stout said, by the way, I'm still banned on Twitch. What happened? How the fuck did you get banned on Twitch, pimp? What did you do? Let's see. Cisco wondered why I was late. Did I get in the wrong van again? No. But I did see something crazy, and I'll talk about that in a second. Gina Carano looked good. She's ready to compete for all the titles. We can just say she looked good. Not MMA-wise. I did it. You did it, and your mod? Oh, no. They were supposed to time you out. Hold on, they did the ban, say something about someone's team. Oh, no, they were just supposed to time you out for 10 minutes. Hold up, let me fix that right now. That's just like a little fun thing we do. Everybody, when you accumulate channel points, you get enough to time somebody out for 10 minutes. All it does is it makes you go away for 10 minutes. I think you can even watch, you just can't comment. And then you come back in 10 minutes and everything should be good. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let me go moderation. Let's see. Community. Jeez. Let's see. Where was this at? Where do you get? Okay, let's see. Analytics, no. Shit. Bonus, content, community. I have no idea where this is at. Let's see. No, I don't see. I don't even know where the fuck you go to do that. Follower list, activity, roles manager. Fuck, man. I don't know. I gotta find this shit, bro. We gotta get this fixed. God damn. I'll just Google it. I'll just look it up. How to unban somebody on Twitch. Unban username. No, I need the dashboard, bitch. Settings, moderation, ban chatters. Settings. What? That's not there. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that out, Big Stout. I will look at the end of the show because I'm obviously not seeing it. Oh, nope. Yeah, I'll have to look at the end of the show, Pimp. I'll get you taken care of. I promise. Because, yeah, it shouldn't have happened like that. It should have just been a hee, that's fun. Everybody gets it. Everybody's been timed out at least once. Well, most people have. Some more than others. But, yeah, you shouldn't have been banned. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. So, I'll get that taken care of. I promise. All right. Stout said, let's go Knicks. Boy, your Knicks look good. Yeah, your Knicks look good. Not last game, but coming into this, they looked good. They just gotta get their shit together. Let's see. No, my bad. What am I thinking of? Maybe I was thinking of a game last series, but yeah, they beat the Cavs. So they're up 1-0. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch last game. The Cavs are an interesting team too. These final four teams, I think the elite two teams are in the same conference, and that's in the West. I think it's San Antonio and OKC. Do I think that the Cavs or the Knicks can beat either of those teams? No. I think of the two who has the best chance, probably the Knicks. Because they'll bully them a little bit. They can play big if they need to, but they can run with you too. They can score. Cleveland, I worry about guys like Harden. I mean, we've seen his act in the playoffs plenty of times. I'm just waiting, but he's had a great series. He's had a great playoff so far. He had a couple of stinkers to begin the playoffs. Put that behind him, and he's played pretty well. So maybe this is a new Harden that we're looking at. But what was I saying about the bet you don't make? Yeah, so I just ended up not betting on that game at all, and glad I didn't. Okay, let's get to our other headline real quick. Let me just get this over with. Cleveland strip club must be trash. LeBron says that they didn't get out hustled. They didn't get out. They didn't get outplayed. They weren't out physicaled. That the reason they lost to OKC is they got out talented. Let me tell you something. That's a problem for a lot of people right now with OKC. OKC has a ton of talent. They've got the back-to-back MVP. But I wouldn't say that the Spurs have more talent than the Lakers. I think they're deeper, maybe. But when you get to this level of the playoffs, you're only running a 7-man rotation, maybe. It just depends on the team, but usually you're only running like a 7-man rotation. So, in fact, I bet if I pulled up, let's see, scores. No, I want the Lakers schedule. Let's see. There we go. Lakers. Last game against OKC. Yeah, they had two guys play 24 and 27 minutes. Hayes and Kennard. That's it. And then the other three bench players, 3, 3, and 0. Bronny didn't enter the game. And that's the funny thing when even OKC had three guys, Caruso, Wiggins, and Wallace, Caruso, Wallace, and McCain, 22, 19, and 16 minutes. You really shorten your bench in the playoffs. So, look, the problem isn't getting out talented. Well, maybe this was his point, but to say they got out talented, They had no Luka Doncic, and that's going to matter. But I think if you had the Lakers at full strength, would they have beaten the Thunder in a 7-game series? Probably not. Do they get swept? Maybe not. Maybe not, right? I mean, look, game 4 was 115 to 110. Luka obviously makes a difference in scoring. I think his point is valid in that Luka wasn't involved in the series. But I don't think Luka would have made the difference. It's just that OKC is not just talented, and they've got some talent, obviously, and they're deep, but their defense is elite. They've got the MVP, and the only team so far that's shown any ability to be able to compete with that is the Spurs. They've got an MVP top 3 candidate in Jesus, really, Laminack? You just going blank on the name? Oh God. Wembanyama, Jesus. I think he finished 3rd in MVP voting. Their defense is really good. So, but I wouldn't read this roster to you and say that it's less talented than the Lakers, or more talented than the Lakers, I should say. Here's like the Spurs playoff rotation of guys, right? Julian Champagnie, Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, and that's who had the most minutes. You had some guys, Barnes and Carter Bryant and Luke Cornett, had double-digit minutes, but the 3 of them combined scored 9 points. He had 10 points from Keldon Johnson off the bench, and that's not oh boy, that's a killer lineup. No De'Aaron Fox matters, obviously. But yeah, I'm looking at the box score from game 1. Same thing. Same lineup. Barnes, 6 minutes. Keldon Johnson played 22. Carter Bryant, 14. And Luke Cornett, 9. You look at the Thunder in that same game 1. And Alex Caruso had 32 minutes. Cason Wallace, 28. And A.J. Mitchell, 34. But only Caruso contributed with 31 off the bench. And I don't think that lineup that I just read you for the Spurs is better than that Lakers lineup. I think they play better defense, and I think the star power might be a little better. But, I mean, they're young, too. I don't know. I think that they match up better with the Spurs, but I don't think it's an out-talented thing, if that makes sense. I don't think you got out-talented. Granted, again, Luka probably helps a ton, duh. But I think the Thunder are just elite right now. The Lakers are not elite. And, I mean, look, this lineup, Hartenstein, Holmgren, SGA, Lou Dort, and Jalen Williams. That's good. But if you went back and maybe looked at where each of those ranks amongst their positions, I don't know that they're not killers at every position, but they're good and they really get after you on defense. I mean, game 1, Hartenstein had 2 points in 12 minutes. Holmgren 8 in 41. Dort had 5 points in 22 minutes. That's bad, but also that's good defense by the Spurs. And I think that's the difference. The Lakers were never elite defenders. The Spurs are. So, just my 2 cents. All right, let's get to it. As I promised, I watched that MMA card that Jake Paul and friends put on Netflix. It's still up there if you want to watch it. If you're an MMA fan or just curious, you can go watch it. My thoughts on it. So, 1, it was an old card. Yeah, a lot of old folks on the card. I had started to take some notes and then just kind of got disinterested in the notes taking portion of it. But even just that first fight, Dos Santos versus Despain. Dos Santos is 42. Robelas Despain, 37 years old, with 7 professional fights. That's just not going to get it, right? I thought fight of the night, honestly. I thought the best fight of the night was, oh shit. I did write that down in my notes. B-O-D. I thought that Saladin Parnasse and Kenneth Cross fight, that was fantastic. Parnasse looks like a beast. That guy looks like he belongs in the UFC. And see, that's the problem. When nobody's going to be like, that guy belongs in the MVP. Like Parnasse, if I'm Parnasse, I'm like, hey, appreciate the love. Headed to the UFC to make some scratch. Yeah, I mean, that was a really good fight. Yeah, Junior Dos Santos and Despain was about what I thought it would be from a JDS in his 40s. Diaz looked like a guy his age as well. Francis Ngannou looked good, but he was fighting a guy. I think somebody even said he had like 22 pounds on the dude. Come on. And you got other guys calling him out. That dude's a beast. That guy, he's still in peak condition. But I think the card overall, a lot of finishes, and there's an art to that when you match make, right? There's an art to not just taking a guy you want to boost up and put him in against a tomato can. You got to find somebody, again, that's the Jake Paul boxing formula. But you got to find worthy opponents, but ones that you think, hey, either one of these could finish this fight early. That's what fans want. You know, me personally, I like to see fights, good fights, go the distance or go a couple of rounds at least. But it was a lot of finishes. So I think the card overall, I'd give it like a B-, C+, something like that. I mean, there was the nostalgia of Rousey and Carano. Getting to see Francis Ngannou fight again was fun. But I just think that, gosh, they're so far and away from being or competing with the UFC from a talent perspective and everything else. Hey, what up, Christian? From a talent perspective, from a production perspective, B. Hannon said the production was bad, right? Yeah, all UFC refs and personnel, though. Well, so the refs are not UFC refs, just so you're clear. Now, referees don't belong to the UFC. Referees are licensed in every state. Okay, so they'll go wherever the UFC goes. These referees like Herb Dean and so forth, they'll go get their license in that state or in that, country per se. Because you'll see some Texas, like what'll happen a lot of times. I don't know if this MVP MMA card had an undercard, but a lot of times you'll see local Texas referees on undercards here, like especially when the UFC's in town, right? And then for the main events, they obviously have referees that they trust and that they've come to rely on. But those referees aren't paid by the UFC. They're not employed by the UFC. They're licensed in the states and the states pay them. Now, I'm sure that they get more money or whatever. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, they're not officially UFC referees per se. That's why you'll see them doing other promotions. Same thing for cut guys and stuff. Those are all licensed by the state. Now, production wise, I thought it was okay. It was a little hard to hear, I forget the lady's name, and Tyron Woodley and whoever was on the panel with him. That was a little difficult to hear. The packages were okay, like the pre-fight packages and whatnot. But you just get used to the polish and the shine of the UFC because they've been doing it forever and they know how to do it. And that's the difference. That's part of why they're elite, right? My biggest criticism of the night, by far, not the fights, not some of the hype. I mean, there was some of that. Jake Paul saying it's so funny because when what's the dude's name? Cross. When Cross beat Nick, no, not Cross. Who was the guy that fought Nate Diaz? Oh my God. Let's see. MMA card. Fight results. Here we go. Mike Perry. Yeah. So when Francis Ngannou beat Lins, there was that question of, oh, hey, Jake Paul, you were talking smack this week. Do you want to fight Francis Ngannou in boxing? He was like, I mean, I'm his promoter right now. I mean, we can handle fight stuff later. I just want to promote him and do right by him and blah, 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 blah. And then you get to the next fight at the end, Diaz and Perry, and Perry was like, I'll fight you. And oh boy was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. It was a complete different tune. He was singing a complete different story because he wanted, Perry wanted to fight him in MMA. They had already boxed, I believe. I think that was right? Jake Paul. Jake Paul, Mike Perry was a boxing match because Perry was doing bare knuckles boxing. So that was a boxing match, July 20th, 2024. Of course, Jake Paul won. TKO. But Perry was like, yeah, well, that was boxing. I'm not a boxer. I'm an MMA guy. So let's do MMA. And Jake Paul was like, yeah, well, let's do it. He was ready. He was ready to talk shit. He didn't do that against Ngannou. Ngannou, I think, would just decapitate Jake Paul. So I found that interesting. I thought that was like whatever. But that wasn't my big beef. My big beef of the whole thing, it looks like they did have an undercard, by the way. But my big complaint, and if you didn't see any video from the undercard, then that just tells you how bad it was. Split decision, unanimous decision, TKO, round 1, submission, round 3, and submission, Darce, round 2. That was the undercard. None of those names I know. None. Oh, is that? Oh no, that's not him. But my big complaint from the whole thing was the post-fight interviews. They were awful. Ariel Helwani acted like it was a fucking sit down. Like he was like Barbara Walters in the ring. If you could be a tree, what kind of tree would you be, Francis? Do you mind the name Francis? Did you get picked on as a kid? So tell us, Francis, what is it like coming up being named Francis? It was just like, bro, know when to stop. You asking a bunch of questions nobody gives a fuck about. You just talking to talk. Now, the only thing that's quite possible there is that, production is a mess or they're trying to get fighters ready and, so they're just like, hey, you just got to go kill time. But Jesus Christ, the first fight lasted 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Okay. Round 1, KO. Despain beat Junior Dos Santos. I timed it. The first fight was 2 minutes and 59 seconds. The post-fight interview was 3 minutes and 55 seconds. The post-fight interview should not be longer than most of the fights. And that's what it felt like every single time. And it's like, bro, just keep it moving, pimp. What are you doing, Ariel? I get it. This is your time to shine. You've been waiting on this your whole career, but god damn, man. Most of these questions are trash. And no one cares. Like, nobody cares. The only post-fight interview I really cared about was the Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey post-fight. That was really cool because you could just see after the fight how much Rousey really looks up to Gina Carano, how much of her hero she really is. And she said as much into the microphone. But even if you were reading lips after the fight, you could tell she was like, I'm glad it's over now. And you're my favorite fighter, my favorite fucking fighter of all time or something like that. I was just trying to read lips and catch what they were saying and listen a little bit. But you could see how much respect and adoration that Rousey had for Carano, genuinely. And you know, leading up to the fight, of course, they're like, oh, would you break her arm if she doesn't tap? She's like, absolutely. I don't know that she would have, but I think she would have held it. I think she would have tried to hurt her, but I don't know about breaking her arm. Maybe so. I mean, maybe that's a flip that gets switched by fighters. You put all that aside. But props to Carano for coming back and doing it. But that was the main event. 17 seconds, Rousey with an armbar. I don't know why Gina Carano throws a kick as her opening salvo. Just dumb. You know you don't want to go to the ground with Ronda Rousey. And the fastest way to get taken down is to throw a kick at somebody that has good takedown skills. And Ronda Rousey's takedown skills are fantastic. Not only does she just have legit wrestling, but her judo is impeccable. So to throw a kick, you're just asking to be taken down. And then she had that, you know, attempted guillotine, and it was like, well, that's probably not going to work against Ronda. Carano's a striker, not a submission grappler. And sure as shit, Ronda pops her head out of the guillotine, full mount, flips over, grabs the arm as Carano tries to post up, and that was it. Ball game. So the fight lasted like 17 seconds. But the other thing that I thought was kind of ridiculous was the lady, I forget who the lady's name is. I need to find out. But whoever the lady announcer is that was doing like the in-between fight commentary and stuff, they literally said one of our 3 main events. There can only be one main event. 3/5 of your card can't be main events. Now, do they say co-main event? Yeah, sure. They'll have 6 fights on a UFC card and call it the co-main event. But 3 main events is not a thing. 3 main events is not a thing. You just have big names fighting for you. You know, if you wanted to call Diaz Perry a co-main, that's okay, I guess. But Diaz looked old. Just that fight didn't do it for me. It was kind of sad, honestly. Both of them were fucking gassed. So it was like, whoa. I understand why guys like Ngannou get gassed. Heavyweights, that's easy to gas out. But Diaz and Perry just looked old and out of shape. And Diaz looked old, Perry out of shape. So that's my 2 pennies on that card. Titan Hugo said Ngannou post-fight said Jake Paul doesn't run MVP. He's just a blah blah guy. That's funny. Yeah, the Coco main. Well, it's our Coco main event. That's just the first fight. Well, you know what we mean. Okay. PB Dub said D+, glad I don't pay for my Netflix. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. UFC. Unyoung Fighting Championship? No, that's nice try. Christian said Thunder and 6. I don't know about that. Maybe Thunder and 7. Especially with the Spurs stealing one on the road. Yeah, Hardtop said Diaz was throwing wet paper kicks before it was stopped. He was done. I knew once he went back to his corner for that at the end of the second round, I was like, this fight is over. He is gassed. There was no way he was surviving round 3. I think Stitch did him a favor, being like, I can't stop the bleeding. Call it. I think Stitch did him a favor. Now, I know the doctors have a say in it, but I think they did him a favor by calling it because he was gassed and getting his ass. What a Walt. But it was just another thing that struck me as odd is listening to it because they're so new and have no other way of hyping it up. They were like, oh, former UFC champ did this in the UFC, did that in the UFC. It's like, well, okay. You just look really desperate right now. Just all you do is keep mentioning the UFC. I think the best part of the whole night was the emotion from Rousey and Carano. I thought that was the coolest part of the night. I really did. Rousey post-fight said, you changed my world and you changed the world. And I liked that Ariel Helwani asked Rousey, he was like, well, would you, did you want this to go longer? Only 17 seconds. The anticipation for this. Did you want it to go longer? And Rousey's response was no, because I didn't want to hurt her. That's a dog. That's a dog. Like, that's a dog. Not like oh yeah, I would have enjoyed more of it. She was like, no, because I didn't want to hurt her. That's a mean bitch right there, boy. I like that. I love that. I'm here for it. Round 3 would have ended quicker than Rousey Carano. Yeah, probably for sure. Aaron J. Bryan said, it sounds like the big 3 of MMA. Great analogy. Great analogy. It's where old fighters go to draw a check. Now, I will say there was, a couple of decent fights, and that one kid, Parnas, that was fun. That dude can fight. Well, keep an eye on him. He'll make some noise in the UFC. It won't be MVP. He'll make some noise in the UFC. Yeah, Hardtop says she's not getting paid by the hour. Hell no. UFC fighters running out of gas like the Cavs. But yeah, I mean, overall, look, it was entertaining. Production was lacking, like B. Hannon said. It was a second tier MMA organization doing their best to look like a world-class organization. My other big takeaway before we move on, and we're going to get to the road stories and birthdays coming up next. But my other huge problem was, if you noticed, and you can all go and look tonight, just pull up Netflix, pull up the fight, get to the first fight. Get to where they get the fighters at the face-off and give them the rules. Look in the crowd. And it was really like this. There was nobody in the building. I don't know how they can claim 2.2 million at the gate. That's insane. That's just a fucking lie. I guarantee that's just a bald-faced lie. Unless Jake and the promoter bought up all the empty seats. There was nobody in the fucking building. Even when Nate Diaz was fighting and he was the crowd favorite. And at first I was like, well, this is fight 1 of the main card. LA is a late arriving town like Houston, and traffic. And so they'll probably get there before the Diaz fight. Fucking nope. Nope. They just weren't there. And I thought it was a smart thing, but it was a trick. If you really, you kept seeing all those lights here. I'll show you. I was taking pictures because I was like, nah, bitch. When you would see the face off, right? Like, this is what you would see. Let's see here. So you would see something like this, right? And you see all those lights on the seats. That's so you can't see that there's no crowd. But if you really look close, look at all the empty seats in there. I mean, that is just... Look, this is just one part of one deck. If I email this to myself, it'd be a lot better. But look at all those empty seats. They didn't do 2.2 million at the gate. They didn't do 2.2 million. It looked empty all night long, and they ain't fooling nobody. And I got all the receipts for it. Yeah, look, this was after the Ngannou fight. I mean, bro, I'll get out of here. That's just Nice try. This is a good little redirect, you know? It's a good little, hey, maybe if we just put these lights on, they won't notice how fucking empty this place is. But, you know, and I'm sure that it, you know, they weren't like, oh, it's going to be empty, but looks like a Marlins game. That's hilarious. B. Hannon said 17.6 million viewers worldwide at its peak. I question that number too, B. Hannon. I really do. I would be shocked if they drew that much, honestly. I would want to see, I mean, who verifies that? Nobody. Nielsen doesn't verify it. So you basically just have to rely on them to tell you the truth. They're not going to do that. They're going to make it look away. I'd be willing to bet you Dana White commented the empty seats. I'd be willing to bet you. Let's see. Dana White sends message to Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano. That was 5 days ago. Dana White reached out to Ronda Rousey the morning of the fight. Dana White pulled off the pettiest moves. I guess that's when he announced Conor McGregor coming back. Let's see. Dana White announced Conor McGregor. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. Dana White pulls no punches. So I doubt, I doubt he had nice things to say on it. That's for sure. But that would been the thing that I would guess he would comment on first was the shit looked empty. So we're going to get Dana White announces Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 2 during MVP MMA card. And the promoters were like, hey, thanks for doing that. And my guess is because it probably made people tune in to watch. I don't know. Seems silly. They must be counting when it shows up on your suggested, even if you don't click on it. Yeah, like a social media view. All right, before we get any further, and I have some road stories for you. Well, we've covered MVP MMA. We've covered it's the bet you don't make, the NBA. We got some headlines in. Before we go any further, I'll be goddamn if I don't get to this week. We got birthdays. Oh, so many birthdays. Let's get to it. Daddy's got some birthdays in the house. Going all the way back to May 10th. 11 days ago. Sydney. For those of you that don't know, Sid is the better half of Walt Walker. Just a wonderful human being. I love Sydney so much. She's got this calm, friendly demeanor about her, beautiful smile, just a beautiful woman. And Walt is so lucky to have her because Walt should probably be with somebody that looks like Throw Mama from the Train. But this isn't about Walt. This is about Sydney and her birthday. Sydney, I'm sorry it's so late, but I do love you. And I hope you know that. And I hope that your birthday was absolutely amazing. And I hope Walt spent money on you. He better have spent a whole lot of damn money on you. If not, I got 5 of these across his lips. You big dummy. All right. Happy birthday, Sid. Love you, girl. All right, next up on the list, Josh J.M. Woke. My guy has been down from the get-go. Doesn't come around, still supports, and I love him for that, man. Much love to you, Mr. Woke. I hope your birthday was fantastic, sir. I hope you spent it getting full on alcohol or cake or both or none. Whatever you chose, okay? I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But happy birthday, brother. I know it's late, but better late than never, right? Perry! Pew, 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 pew! How could we not get to Perry? I was on a ship when it happened, but I know Perry got down and got busy on his birthday. I know Pew Pew had some fun. Walt said Sid is my favorite wife of all time. That's a good way to get your ass whooped, Walt. Happy birthday, Perry. I hope it was fantastical, my friend. You know I love you to death, brother. And I hope you had a great day, my friend. I hope it was magical, and I hope you got some ammunition or a new gun, because I know that's what you're into. Also, Chris from Sam Houston. I won't call him my neighbor, but he lives close. He's in the vicinity. But Chris pops in when he can. Always appreciate him supporting the show. Chris, I hope your birthday was wonderful, and I hope you had a great day and got all of the presents that you wanted. Do we still get presents at this age? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Some of y'all probably do. Some of y'all don't. I don't know, Chris, but I hope it was fantastic. And certainly last but not least, Jenny is mom. That's right. My mom celebrated her birthday yesterday, and of course we got busy and didn't get to these birthdays, but I did text her and told her happy birthday and that I loved her. Also went to her birthday party fucking a month or two ago, so handled it then as well. But nonetheless, happy birthday, Jenny is mom. Happy birthday to all, 5 of you. I hope you all had fantastical days and you deserve it because you're all wonderful people and I love you to death. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's so delicious. So dangerous. That's some good whiskey. That is Oak and Eden. That's some damn good whiskey right there. Boy, I tell you what. That's some good ass whiskey. All right. Well, happy birthday, y'all. I hope all of your dreams came true. Okay? Here goes. Yeah! All right, that's your birthdays. Shit for May, honestly. That wraps up all the May birthdays. Next one will be at the beginning of June, I believe. I think June 5th, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? I think it's June 5th. Yeah. Well, I'll have to go back and look. All right, let's get. What are we doing here? You raggedy bitch. You raggedy bitch. No. What do we do? Get your bitch ass over here. Download. Page. Download. Hulk. This new canvas sucks. I don't like it. It's kind of trash, if I'm being honest. Why is this doing a video? I didn't ask for a video. Jesus Christ. This is just too much, as Jen would say. Okay. Yes. Just download my slide, would you? Would you? Please. Just download the damn slide. All right. Happy birthday to everybody. Also, what the shit? Oh, I do have road stories, and we're gonna close out the show on some road stories, so that'd be fun. Because first thing first, well, I gotta pee. Maybe I should pee. No, I think I can make it. Maybe. I don't know. Gonna be close. By the way, real quick, just want to say thank you to Donna, Sylvia, and Cece. Cece, so thank you guys for your Thankful Thursdays. You guys are just amazing women to continue to support this show. It means so much. PB Dubs with the Thirsty Thursday. I just saw it. Shit, my bad, Dubs. Let me hold on. No, you know how we do. Damn that. I got that damn slide right here. I can get Dubs' name on this shit. No problemo. Boom. PP Dub, but son of a bitch, get over here. Don't argue with me. PP Dubs. My bad, pimp. I had already had the shit planned, just didn't download it. But now, this has been corrected, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, sir. But yeah, I appreciate you guys continuing to support the show. Cece, when she sent her Thankful Thursday, she sent along a note that said, "Happy BOD Thankful Thursday. If you don't do a show, I want my money back." You know what? Fair and balanced, CC. Just like Fox News. Fair and balanced. There you go, PB Dubs. I got it in, damn it. Much love, pimp. Oh, rip Kyle Busch. Uh-oh. What happened to Kyle Busch? Yeah, let's see. Cece said, if you don't have a show, I want my money back. Donna said, happy Thankful Thursday. Cece said, happy BOD Thankful Thursday. And PB Dub said, thirsty Thursday. I like that. Yeah, we drinking now. We drinking. But thank you guys for continuing to support the show. I very much appreciate it. And much love to all of you. What the hell happened to Kyle Busch? Sad breaking news. Kyle Busch has died at age 41. What? What? How? Kyle Busch. NASCAR.com has it. Man. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, I guess I should do my breaking news sounder. Breaking news, everybody. Not good breaking news either. Sad news. Kyle Busch dead at the age of 41. Damn. Let's see. A generational talent who rose to become a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champ, one of the sports greats, died Thursday. He was 41. Busch's death, which was announced by the Busch family, NASCAR, and Richard Childress Racing, marked a sudden, staggering blow to the motorsports community. His team had indicated earlier Thursday that Busch had been hospitalized with a severe illness. Busch was in his 22nd full-time season. Man, if he was 41 and he was 22nd season, that's crazy. He started real young. He won 2 Cup Series titles, 63 races. Figure that ranks 9th on the circuit all time in wins. His numbers across the other 2 national NASCAR series are record setting with 102 victories in what is now called the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and 69 wins in the Craftsman Truck Series. So Richard Childress made the following joint statement: Busch family, Richard Childress Racing, and NASCAR. On behalf of the Busch family, everyone at Richard Childress Racing, and all of NASCAR, we are devastated to announce the sudden and tragic passing of Kyle Busch. Our entire NASCAR family is heartbroken by the loss of Kyle Busch, a future Hall of Famer. Kyle was a rare talent, one who came along once in a generation. He was fierce, he was passionate, he was immensely skilled, and he cared deeply about the sport and fans. Wow. So it just says illness. Just it's a bad illness. That's all I can see. Yeah. He's survived by his parents, his wife Samantha, whom he married in New Year's Eve in 2010, and 2 children, Brexton, who turned 11 on Monday, and 4-year-old daughter Lennox. That's just heartbreaking. God, that's so sad. That is so sad. Boy, you just hate to hear it. Just whether they're famous or not, you just hate to hear about that, especially somebody with kids so young. He fell ill. God, that's just awful. Donna said after an illness, some kind of illness, not on the track. Man, just tragic, just sad. So yeah, rest in peace to. Chill out. Rest in peace to him, and obviously, my heart breaks for his family. So now we've got all that. Let me finish this godforsaken week. It's been a nightmare of a week. Let me finish this week and this show with a couple more road stories for you. So I had a good time on the ships. What's up, Alex? And it was fun, and I ventured outside of my comfort zone a bit. One, no, Rudy Rod, we're not doing that when people die. We're not going to be like, oh, rest in peace to Kyle Busch, flatline. I don't even know if I still have that drop. Do I? I don't think I do. I think I lost it. Yeah, I can't find it now. Flatline. That was still so great. The worst. Oh, God, stop it. Worst shit talking ever. I came back right in time for that one. Oh, right in time for that one. Yeah, you did. So a couple things from this past week on the road. One, I find it funny that when you're on a cruise ship with people, a lot of them act like it's their ship. A lot of them, we were docked in port in, I want to say, Honduras. And where we were docked, no, maybe it wasn't Honduras, maybe it was Roatan, whatever. But we're docked, and there are 3 other ships surrounding us. And it was kind of cool, you know. I mean, you see all these big ships, and you're like, "Oh, that's kind of crazy." Oh, I got to show you all that too. That was crazy. But this is what it looked like while I was there docked in port. Look at all the ships there. That's a lot of ships. That's 3 different cruise ships plus ours, right? These 3 ladies are like, they were like, "Oh, I think ours is the biggest. That one's certainly not bigger than ours. That one might. I think ours has more stories. Ours is definitely bigger." And I was just like, "Hey, ladies, I thought I guess size does matter." And they were all old, and they just looked at me like, "What?" I was like, "I always heard it was the motion in the ocean." And they just stared at me, and I was like, "These are wasted on you 3 old women. Jesus Christ. This is fantastic. And y'all are fucking it up by just staring at me." But I went to karaoke. Now, I don't usually go to like shows and events. I went to like this line dancing thing that they did. They like practice all week, right? So they go to all these different line dancing classes and instructions. And it all culminates in this big, line dancing thing at the end on the, I guess, second to last night. And my God, it was the funniest thing I've ever watched. I've never seen anything so disorganized in my whole white life. Okay. And I talked about this on stage. So I talk shit to the crowd, to the people there. This isn't me just talking behind their back, but I was just like, it looked like you ever just kicked an ant pile and watch the chaos. That's what the dance floor looked like. It just looked like someone kicked an ant pile. They were going every which way but the right way. It was just to observe, phenomenal. I said the only thing that I could think of to compare it to, and some of you may not understand this, you might be too young, but the only thing that I could think of to compare it to is, do you remember that electric football game where you would put all the guys on the field and then you would turn it on and then they would just vibrate around? And you didn't know where the fuck they were going to go. They didn't know where they were going to go. Everybody moved around until you shut it off. That's what this dance off was. That's what this line dancing was. It was hilarious. At one point, I really want to send this to myself because it's easier to see. But at one point they were like, "Hey, look at our dancers out in the middle of the pool," right? They were like, "These are our whatever dancers." And it was like the line dance instructor and like 4 or 5 backup dancers. Well, most of the backup dancers were good, but there was one dancer in particular, a very, I'm sure, lovely Asian woman who didn't know any of the dances. She didn't know the steps. And she's one of the main dancers. Let me just see if y'all can see this. But she's one of the dancers. She's right back there. She's right back there. This is her. Hold on. No, that's not the video. Oh, here we go. All right, so where you're looking at, well, you'll see her, but she's come on, bitch. Let me see if I can play this. Come on. Yeah, she's right back there. Oh, you'll see. Look, she doesn't know the moves. Wow, she just starts laughing. She's like, I don't. She's supposed to be one of the ones that teaches everybody, but she didn't know any of the moves. And I'm trying to, like, watch. She'll fuck it up again. I was trying to hold it together, but see, she don't know. Oh, see, she's watching. She's like, shit, I don't. Hold on, there's more to it. Let's see. Oh, now they're really getting into it. But this wasn't even the part that was the clusterfuck. There she is. You can still see her in the back. See her back there not doing any of the shit that they're doing? That's hilarious. I was dying laughing. I was like, how you gonna have a backup dancer that don't know the dances? That's insane to me. But then I went to karaoke. That was the crazy. I don't know if y'all do karaoke. I've never done karaoke, but I also know my limits. I'm not a singer. I don't sing. But I'll tell you what. I wish to God I believed in myself. Like people that sing karaoke. I wish to God that I had the self-confidence and belief that they have. Because it was the worst shit I have ever heard in my whole life. Nary one of these people could sing. And the craziest shit is, so somebody would get up there and they would start singing and it was awful. They couldn't stay on beat. They didn't know the words, and the words are right there. But they would be singing awful. And then the crowd of also awful karaoke singers would join in to help them. So now you got all of the people that can't sing, that are currently not singing, joining in to help the one person that can't sing that is singing. I was just watching. I was like, what in the fuck is this? This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And they're, woo, yeah, you go. All right. I was like, yo, this is insane. It's insane. And I also realized the people that do karaoke, they have no idea how long a song is until they start singing that bitch into a microphone. Because every one of them sounded like me on my CPAP. They were just first verse. This one, it was crazy. So there's one chick, her husband goes up first and he's like, hey, I want to dedicate this song to my wife. And then he proceeds to sing Fergie's My Humps. And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. But then all these ratchet ass women just, because they're doing it on the dance floor in like this cabaret lounge thing. It's like a 2-story, it's got a dance floor. But he's out there like singing it way off beat, way off. It was awful, you know. But I give him credit, he was doing it, whatever. But he was singing this. But then this one woman comes out and starts grinding on him. 3 more women jump up. One woman had a tambourine with her. Who the fuck is, first of all, how did you get a tambourine on the boat, ship first? Like, why? Why were you like, oh shit, I got to pack my tambourine with me because we're going to do some bad singing. What? So this one woman has a tambourine and she's twerking on him, and these other women run up and start twerking and grinding on him and shit. And pretty soon there's about 15 ratchet ass women grinding on this dude who's singing this song for his wife. I was like, what are we doing? So then his wife goes next and she sings Ice Ice Baby. And I thought she was going to die. I really did. I thought she was going to pass out because 1, she was awful at it. But 2, she ran out of breath after the first verse because they all get up there with so much energy. And then they're dancing and screaming and hooting and hollering. And then by the fucking end of the first chorus comes up and they're gassed. Same thing with the dude with Fergie. And it was just one after the other, out of breath. Because you want to go up and give a performance, but you don't perform. You know, these folks don't know what it's like to perform. So it was just, I'm watching this just going, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. This is wild. And I would love to tell you that this is the craziest white people shit I've ever seen, but it was everybody. Black people, Asians, whites, Latinos. across the board, awful. Oh, terrible. The best time. I had so much fun watching these people ruin my eardrums. It was a blast. It was an absolute blast. But I would never go do karaoke. I have too much pride in myself. I have way too much pride in myself. But I was like, you know what? I wish I believed in myself like a bad karaoke singer. I do. I wish I had that level of confidence and belief in me. Because they didn't give a fuck. If I'd have got out there and sang like that, I'd have bolted for the exits. I'd be like, I gotta get. They don't. No, they're putting in for another song. I'm like, hell. Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. One other thing that was kind of weird, I had this idea for merch. I probably won't do it because I don't know if they'll let me sell them. But I do this bit on stage where, all right, stop, collaborate, listen, turn this before I start wheezing. Donna said that's a hard song to karaoke. What? Ice Ice Baby? Rudy Rod said that woman with the tambourine was part of the church choir. Oh, I'm sure. It was a sister. It was a big sister, you know? She had her little tambourine and she went to town. But, so I do this thing where, so when I get on the ships, Sunday is the day that we board and embark. And then I don't have my first show until Wednesday. So I spend all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday, and pretty much all day Wednesday in anonymity. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody. I'm just a weirdo on his laptop at the pool or, smoking a cigar or whatever. But I'm always on my laptop doing something. And no, I didn't dubs. I didn't freestyle. Boom Boom didn't make an appearance. But so I'm the weirdo. There's people like just looking at me like, why is this guy on his laptop? He's on vacation because they don't know. I mean, that's fine. And so when I go on stage for the first couple nights, and usually just the first 3 nights, which are the first 3 shows, 2 nights. So my first 2 shows are Wednesday, and then I have a show on Thursday. And then my last show is like late Saturday night. So, but for those first 3 shows, that's when the anonymity goes away because now each show has about 1,200 people in it. Cruise, I think the ship holds about 5,000-ish. So 2/3 of the ship now knows that I'm the comedian. Roughly. So before, nobody said a word to me. But once I perform, then, you're just walking around and people go, hey, you're the comedian. Or, oh, comedian. It's the comedian guy. No one knows my fucking name. Nobody. So I just decided to address it. So this was this first time I've done this, but I was like, yeah, I love it because this, now I get to perform, but also now I lose my anonymity. And it also means that a lot of you are going to see me in the hall or at the buffet or at the pool. And instead of saying my name, which is Barry, you're just going to look at me and go, comedian. I was like, so just so you know, when you do that, I am just going to point back at you and go, audience. And they laughed. And sure as fuck, some people did it on purpose. Like some people be like, comedian. And I'd be like, hey, what's up? They're like, oh, you didn't do it. I was like, okay, well, audience. They're like, yes. They got excited about it. I was like, that's crazy. And then one woman was like, oh my God, you are our new favorite comedian. You are so funny. Babe, look, it's Larry. I was like, well, all right, that's not my fucking name. How am I going to be your favorite comedian and you don't even know my fucking name? That's not possible. I'm just Larry the comedian. But then I had this idea because people were doing it constantly. They'd be like, comedian. I'd be like, audience. And they enjoyed it, right? And I thought, what would be dope is if I had some shirts, I could make some shirts that say comedian. And then for my merch, I could sell shirts that say audience. So then I would just wear them on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then they could buy the audience shirts and wear those. I was like, that would make some money. So I just need to, shut up, Donna. So I need to make that work. But yeah, hey, it's Larry, our favorite comedian. So I'm at the buffet and Larry was pretty good. I had a woman tell me that. She goes, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that me and my husband came to your show." I was like, "Oh, really? Which one?" Because I have to ask. They were like, "We came to the first family-friendly show." I was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "I just got to say, you had us laughing. You're pretty good." And I wanted to be like, "That's not the compliment you think it is, ma'am, but I appreciate it. I know you're trying. You're pretty bad at compliments." But I was like, "Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. You know, I'm just whatever. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment with a question mark." But yeah, I did have somebody tell me that. I thought of all of you guys when they said it. But I was sitting there eating. I try to eat like the buffet. I do one of two things. I'll either take my food back to my room and eat in peace, or I will find an area that's kind of off somewhere, off to the side where not a lot of traffic is. Because people will come up and want to shake my hands while I'm eating. I'm like, "Oh, okay, you know, this," or I'll just be like, "Oh, thank you, man. I'm eating. I'm sorry. There's no big deal." But I was sitting there. It was hilarious. I'm sitting there and I'm closer to the buffet action than I want to be. And this guy comes walking by and he stops. He goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God. It's the comedian." He was like, "Barry, you're hilarious." "Babe, it's Barry." And he just sits down. And I was like, "Oh, we're doing this." He just sat at my table. I was like, "Man," and starts eating. What a fun show, bro. We're going to come to the last one too. I was like, and then his wife walks up and sits next to me. He's across like there's a seat here, there's a seat there, and there's a seat here, right? Well, he doesn't sit at this seat at least. He sits catty corner to me. But his wife just walks around and sits right next to me. And they were the sweetest people. Don't get me wrong. But I was just like, they didn't even ask to sit down. They just, fuck it. I mean, it is all public seating. It's not like it's my table, like I reserved it. But I was like, this is very abrupt. They ended up being wonderful. They ended up being like, great people, super nice. And, I'm trying to just eat and play again, but I'm not wrapped up in anything. So I was just like, he was just asking me about comedy and my career and, just interested, which I get it. People don't know a lot about comedy and the business of it. And they always have questions and I'm happy to answer them. But it was like, what? And so then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to head back to the room now. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Well, that was Friday night or Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to head back to the room now. I'm like, no way I run into them again. It's a big ass ship. Oh, I bumped into them 3 more times that night after I told them I was going to bed. I felt like the biggest asshole in the world. I was like, all right, well, you live and learn. Some mistakes you just won't make twice. And this is one of them. Next time I'll just be like, well, I got shit to do. I'll see y'all later. All right. Instead I was lying. I was like, well, I'm going to go to bed now, you guys. They were like, okay. And I just kind of left and got some ice cream, went and changed, took a shower. Bumped into them at the fucking line dancing shit. Saw them at karaoke. I was like, what the fuck? They were truly the sweetest people. But I was just like, this is rather abrupt to just sit at the table with me. Y'all know me. I'm a personal space kind of guy. I don't mind people coming up, fans or whatever, saying hi. It's fine. Well, they just sat the fuck down. I was coming out of I went and watched a show at the theater, which was, they just do like cover songs. I was like, thank God I do what I do, because that was the most awful shit to do as an entertainer, because nobody was clapping. They'd be all out in the crowd. They'd like, come on. Yeah. And everybody was just like, now granted, they're singing rock and roll songs in a theater voice. I'll just leave that to your imagination. But I'm leaving that. The first of 3 times I bumped into them. So I went and got my food. I went back to my room, finished, showered, all that. And then I was like, I'm going to go check out some of the theater show. I've never seen one on the ship. So I went there and I'm leaving and there they are. The guy's like, hey man, you want some whiskey? I'll buy you a whiskey. I was like, nah, I mean, I get, I got beer. And it was like, oh man, I'll get you some Makers or whatever you want. I was like, I'm I'm good, man. He's like, nah, man, let me do it. Like, I get it all free because of the casino. And I want to be like, oh, he's a high roller. He's got money. Ah, okay. But it was, like I said, the sweetest people. They just, you want some this? You want some that? I was like, I'm good, man. Thank y'all. But it was very weird to get run into them 3 times after I told him I was going to sleep. I felt bad. But yeah, I saw Perry say he did karaoke. I did karaoke on a cruise. It was horribly awesome. Let me know if you want to see it, guys. Oh, you damn right I want to see it. Yes. Post those videos to the Discord, sir, please. You bump into everyone once a day by the ice cream machine. You kind of do, don't you, Amos? I'm the kind of person I'll give people pro tips. And they're like, they'll get you can get a bowl or a cone when you get the ice cream. And they're like, can I get a little more? Can you make me a large one? I was like, here's a pro tip. Get a bowl and just ask for 2 cones. And then you can put them in the bowl. And then you can carry more than one. You can get 3 if you want. They were like, oh. Other pro tip, especially if you're on the MSC Seascape, as soon as the chocolate chip cookies drop, you better fucking get them because they are gone. Them bitches gone. They're delicious, but they don't last very long. No chance I run into them again on a ship. Yep, that was me. I was like, ain't no way. It's so big. What are the odds we go do the same thing 3 times? All right. We managed to get through everything I needed to get through this week. Somehow, some way, got the birthdays, got the Thankful Thursday, got the road stories all in from the ship. Got some good conversation about MMA and basketball. Despite the odds, pretty decent week. Pretty good. Not the best. Not my best, not the best. But given all the bullshit that went on, I'll take it. And I certainly do appreciate you guys showing up here and being here for it all. I continue to be blessed and amazed that you're here, and I love you all for it. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you, Uriel. Thank you, Donna. I hope you all have a great weekend, man. Enjoy your holiday. Nora is off on Monday, so there will be no show on Monday because I will be spending it with her. Love you, Barry. Happy birthday, brother. Belated, of course. So I will see you guys on Tuesday. And hopefully we have a much better week technically. I'm going to try to iron out some of these kinks if I get a chance tomorrow. All right? All right. Check IGD. I'm sure. I will, sir. I will. We will watch Perry do karaoke next week. Have fun, Uriel. Uriel said flying to Mexico for the weekend. Nice. Gonna go celebrate 4th de Julio. I don't know why I said that. It's actually Memorial Day, but whatever. I'm stupid. Hey, thanks. Amos said, see you, Larry. Thanks, Perry. Okay, see, now I know how it feels. All right, that was racist. All right, I love you guys, man. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy whatever you watch. It probably won't be the Astros, and I don't blame you. All right, in the meantime, do me 3 favors, everybody. Be safe. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Later, John Dorier. Much love, pimp. Bye, Donna. Be safe this weekend, all of y'all. Don't drink and drive. Bye, everybody. I like this part of the beat. Daddy's making a YouTube video!